Hello everyone, it is that time of the week again. It is Monday and I upload videos on Monday. This week's subject is everyone's coming out stories, so let's do this. I've been wanting to do this one for a while, but I've never actually had the balls to do it. I actually wanted to do it a year ago when it was fairly, fresh. But I think everyone pretty much knows now, so I'm just gonna do it. So, I was raised in a Church of England school in a remote village, and I was pretty cut off from the rest of the world, to be completely honest with you. The internet was not readily available at that time yet, so, and I mean, I was an avid watcher of Xena the Warrior Princess, so we should have kind of figured that one out earlier than we did. But apparently not. Well, I was raised in a Christian background pretty much from the time I was born to age 11. So, we had assemblies in church and everything, and now I'm an atheist, so now I look back on it, I'm like, why? That was a horrible time. So I got through that part of my life, thank the flying spaghetti monster. I came to Canada when I was about 12 years old. So, and Canada's a very liberal country. It's great. And everything's different, I had a boyfriend in grade 9, so I would have been about 14, 15. Something like that. I was really, for some reason I was just really desperate to get a boyfriend, and I'm sure most people who knew me in high school would attest to that. It was sad and pathetic, and I wish I could go back and punch myself in the face. Yeah, I had a boyfriend in grade 9. I broke up with him because there was just something that I didn't want to be around him, and then I decided that I was going to try it again in grade 10. Didn't want to be around him either. It was just something, like, I didn't feel comfortable with being with a guy. It was just, I don't know. And I was thinking to myself, like, is this normal? Is it normal for a girlfriend to hate being around her boyfriend? So I didn't figure that out until later in high school, like grade 11. I remember how I figured this out. I was thinking, and at that time I'd been exposed to, and especially in high school when people start coming out and you kind of are exposed to that. I was thinking maybe it's possible that I'm not straight. I remember sitting on a bench in England and this really, really good looking girl going past, and my jaw dropped to the ground. It was the worst moment. It was bad. So yeah, I watched this girl go by, and then I freaked out because then I realized that I'm gay. Well, at first it was kind of like, I'm bisexual, to kind of dampen the crushing, crippling weight on my shoulders. It didn't really help because I kind of figured that I'm not bisexual. Let's not kid ourselves. It took a few months before I was ready to tell anyone. And during that time I had been kind of thinking about ways to hide this from people. And I told myself that I was going to hide it from other people and not ever tell anyone about it because I was so freaking scared. Because at that time I was completely sure that my entire family would reject me after I told them, because they had never been exposed to it. They'd said really dodgy things. So I at that time I kind of already assumed how they would react, so I just chose not to tell them for quite a while after that. So I told the first person, and she was so supportive, and I literally could not have done. Her name's Katie, and I could not have. I wouldn't be where I am today because she kind of talked me through it, and she was really the only person that I knew would be kind of accepting at that time, because I was really disturbed, you could say. Had my first girlfriend at the end of grade 12. yeah, I told everyone at college after the first few months, and I was still terrified. I didn't know how I was going to say it because I wasn't really prepared for it. I told my parents after my 18th birthday, and I will tell you now that it is the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. At that point, you kind of think, and you're like, how did I get here? You think back to when you were a kid, and you were never worried about this. This was never something as a straight kid. you were never worried about this, the discrimination and hatred that could possibly come your way. You're not worried about that when you're a kid, but you grow up and you realize that you are the person who could be discriminated against for who you are, and something that is a part of you. At first they didn't react too well to it, but I expected that. I was prepared for it. I'd been with the counsellors and financial aid in the event that they reacted badly to it. I was going to get a loan and move out of their house and live on my own in residence, because I didn't want to live in an environment that could possibly get quite hostile towards me, and I didn't know how they were going to react. So, and they are actually on their way to accepting it. I think they're getting there. It's, you know, it's going to take some time to get used to, because they have kind of raised me on the belief that I'd end up straight, so that's kind of flipped. One set of grandparents knows about it, and they reacted a lot better than I thought they would. Another set of grandparents doesn't know. My cousin does know, and she reacted so well to it. I'm really, really glad that she did, because she's my little cousin, so. And I'm glad that I could kind of maybe show her that there are more people in England and all around the world who are different, but yet equal. So, since then, I am openly gay to my entire family minus 2 grandparents. I'm not out to my manager. Myself and the girls at work are keeping it secret, because I pretty much know for a fact that it will change the relationship I have with her because of her perhaps prejudices against me, due to her religion. So I don't want to open that can of worms. I want to keep that secret because she doesn't need to know. Yeah, it's kind of a worrying thing, because I don't think anybody wants to face up to that. Yeah, so I'm openly gay to most people. Yeah. It's a good life. I've kind of accepted who I am now. It took a very, very long time, and now I kind of think back and I'm wondering why I was so scared at the time. And I'm happy that I didn't have to face up to anything in high school. But people in Canada are generally quite accepting, and I've been very lucky to have lived in this environment, as opposed to England, which I know is kind of dodgy still. But they did legalize marriage there, so I could go and get married, but I probably won't, because relationships don't fare well when I'm stressed out, and I'm always stressed out. This is gonna be a problem. I will see you guys next week with the next topic, and I'm really enjoying watching the rest of this channel. I think all the women on this channel are friggin' awesome, and yeah, I look forward to watching the videos every day. Don't you? I mean, come on. I told you that my documentary was going into a film festival. I won an award. We won an award for Best Edited Documentary, and I edited the documentary with the help of my lovely friend. Next week I will be filming up north of Canada, because I'm doing a telethon. I'm part of the crew of a telethon, and we are driving up on Thursday. So I will see you next week in Timmins.